Guys, can you believe this? We're just about done with our money manifestation. I hope that you got something out of these 21 days. I hope that you are manifesting at the highest level. If you're not manifesting yet, that's okay. We're going to get you there. You can listen and re-listen because there's, as we discussed so many times, it's a three-step approach. First, being crystal clear about what you want and why you want it. Second is to do the work, take the first right action, and then let go of gripping onto the actions and that it has to happen in a certain amount of time and the way it's supposed to happen. So you still have to do the work, but you can't be so controlling about how it all gets done. And that leads to the third, right? The third step is being open to the guidance and support of the universe. So I understand from years and years of practicing manifestation and from manifesting money, from manifesting relationships, from manifesting my business, from manifesting writing my first book, from manifesting having somebody that I've looked up to for years and years and years on my podcast, Bob Berg, who is the writer of The Go-Giver, which is one of the most amazing books, which changed my life. I give it to every one of my clients, including my book. So you can do this. I want you to know that. And if you're not where you want to be yet, that doesn't mean anything. It's a continual path that we're on. There is no there. I remind you of that all the time. We always feel like, okay, when this happens, I'm going to be happy. Once I get this done, once I check this off, I'm going to be happy. Once I make this amount of money, everything's going to be fine in my life. That's not how it works. We think that's how it works. We want to think that's how it works. But then we get to that place, we're happy for a little while, and then we start to get to that baseline emotion. So that's for another day. But I just wanted to make sure that I was being clear with you on, what it takes to manifest anything, what it takes to reach any goal. And there's sometimes people at this step at the end that say, well, I'm not where I want to be yet. Or you might be where you want to be, which is amazing. You might be well on your way to where you want to be. You might have already manifested the money and other beautiful things into your life. And if you have or haven't, I want to hear from you. But if you're not exactly where you want to be, it is okay. You have to keep reminding yourself of the steps and getting into the right energy to practice the steps. So, what I wanted to talk to you about today was remember, we talked about right in the beginning, the first day we did this, we talked about how important it was for you to understand what you wanted and then understand why you want it, right? So how much money you want to manifest, but what do you want to happen in your life and why? What is the emotion you want to feel? So if you've been doing this challenge every day for the past 21 days, you might have become aware of certain things in your life. And if that's the case, either way, I want you to just look at what your goal is, your money goal, and then any other goals you have and why they're so important. What is the emotion behind them? And I want you to just be clear that that's still, in fact, what you want and why. Because as we evolve and grow, sometimes our goals change, and that's okay. Okay, so that's step one. And what's nice about that step is you've already done it. So it's just really a review and then just getting honest with yourself, just taking a gut check. Okay. And then what you're going to do now is you're going to write it down because speaking something into existence is good. That helps you to make it happen. And when you write it down, it gives you even more power to manifest. It puts it into the universe and you are making it clear that that's what you want. So we're going to clarify what we want, then we're going to write it down. The next step, and the most important step, and this can sometimes be challenging for people, but it's believing that it's possible. Not just believing that it's possible, but knowing it will happen. There's a huge difference in believing in yourself, believing that something is possible, and knowing that it's going to happen, having complete and utter faith in yourself and faith in the universe, faith that you're being guided and supported, and faith that it is going to happen. I already know it's going to happen. And here's how you're going to get that kind of faith. It all comes down to connecting with your heart, because when you work toward things that come really from your heart, That's when you're in flow. That's when you are in connection and using your unique gifts, and everything comes easier to you. So, when you prioritize goals that you think other people will want from you, you're prioritizing something that maybe might not be what you want from your heart, but what you think other people will want or what you think will make other people happy. That's when you're going to be restricted and things feel hard. What I want you to do is write down exactly what's going to happen, how it's going to look, how it's going to smell, how it's going to feel. And then once you do that, you're able to visualize it over and over and over again. And what happens is that puts you in this state of mind where you have complete and utter faith that it's happening already. It's already happened and it's coming to you. So, this technique, we talked about it a bit in the visualization section, but this takes it a step further because what is important here is to write it into existence, but also to have this faith, this such belief in yourself, but like faith that it's going to happen. A lot of successful people have used this technique and it works. For instance, Michael Phelps, he's actually had more gold medals than any Olympian and ever in any sport. So he won, I don't even remember how many, but several gold medals in swimming a few years back. And he talks a lot about how he used visualization daily for about a month or two before every race. He would use visualization. In addition to that, people like Oprah, Tony Robbins, they attribute much of their success to visualization. I love this story about Jim Carrey. I don't know if you've ever heard this story. A famous actor. He's been in so many amazing movies. And in 1992, he was broke. He had no prospects. He was working odd jobs, and all he wanted to do was be an actor, a famous actor. And he would go up to Mulholland Drive in LA and just, that was a fancy street, and visualize what it would be like to live there. Visualize, really put himself there, like what it would be like when these famous directors would be calling him. He visualized having all the things that he would have if he was a famous actor. And he wrote himself a check. This was on Thanksgiving 1992. He wrote himself a check dated Thanksgiving 1995, so 3 years later, for $10 million for acting services rendered. And do you want to know that he didn't even real? Oh, so he kept the check in his wallet, and he was like, it was tattered. I would look at it all the time. I had it in that wallet for those 3 years, and I would just keep it, look at it all the time. And he got paid a check or I don't know if it's one check, but for $10 million for his first big movie, Dumb and Dumber, right around Thanksgiving 1995. Almost 3 years to the day that he wrote that check, right around the date that he wrote it for. So it's really amazing when you think about it. You must believe it before you can see it. The reason why this works is because you're tapping in to the subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between reality and between something that you vividly visualize over and over and over again. So anything repeated enough becomes true to the subconscious mind. So in order to make this happen, this is what I want you to do. Okay. I want you to take your goal that you have all the specifics, right? And you've done some visualization so you know what this is like. I want you to write down just bullet points about what it looks like specifically. I want you to get so specific. I am living in this house. I am driving this car. I am talking to this person. I am eating this meal. I am drinking this. I am dressed in this. I am feeling this. I am helping these people. I am helping. How many people do I help? How do I help them? I want you to get as specific as possible. I want you to write down not only what you're doing, but how it's making you feel. So, what are the emotions you're feeling? I also want you to write down what you're hearing in the moment. Like, use all your senses, what it feels like, what someone's telling you, what you're smelling, every little detail that you can. Look at it as if you're in a movie and look at it as if it's already happened. And then you're going to practice visualizing it over and over and over again. Even if you visualize it for 1 minute a day for a week. It's almost like if you were to play tennis, right? And you don't know how to serve the tennis ball, but you get trained on how to serve the tennis ball. So they train you over and over and over again, and you start using your muscles in a way that you hadn't before. So it's like muscle memory. And that's the same thing that happens. I don't know if that's a good example, but that's the same thing that happens when we visualize something, write it down, set it in our brain over and over and over again, that we end up putting things into practice, and the universe helps us and guides us because it's muscle memory. So it's like, oh, it already happened. Yes, I believe it's going to happen because it already did happen. So that's when you start to kind of do things as if it already happened, and then that attracts more good things to you. So that is it. That's what I have for you today. It's really understanding exactly what you want, and what separates people that are wanting to do this on this path from the average person that has goals, has things that they want to do, but don't end up doing it, is that you are going to take those small right actions, even when they're scary, even when you don't know how it's going to happen, even when you don't feel like it. Like today, I was feeling a little, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I could do this video today, but I just did it because I know that you need me to be here and I want to help you to reach your goal. So I had to tap into my heart, take a moment, breathe, and say, why am I doing this? What really matters? So make sure that when you're visualizing, when you're writing down, you have to specify and always keep in mind, why am I doing this? Right. And then let's not get caught up in that fear, worry, that can come up sometimes. Why aren't I further along, right? Or being hard on ourselves. That happens a lot too. So I know you're going to make this happen. I cannot wait to hear your stories. Please share them so we can all applaud you, so we can all congratulate you, and we can all be there for you. And if there's something that you need, we'll all be here to help you. Okay. I hope that you enjoyed these 21 days as much as I did. Stay tuned. I have so many amazing guests coming on this next season. If you like this podcast, what I would really love for you to do is take a snapshot on your phone and share it on your social media. That way we can get more people to feel their best and manifest at the highest level. Thank you guys and have a wonderful day. Bye.